Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a video for you about this little guy right here. This is the Rob Johnson's Cypress V2 pocket knife, and you know what? I've been enjoying this knife. I've been carrying it a fair amount, and I've been enjoying carrying it a fair amount. It's a really nice, really lightweight piece, and it's just quite well done. But in my original video, there were two, well, actually three issues, one of which was just it's a little bit fiddly to front flip this guy, given the relatively small front flip and nub. But the other two sort of things that were weird were during the disassembly, the screw that's meant to be rotating stayed fixed, and the free spinning one came out, which was very weird, not what I really expected out of the world. And the other issue is that the pocket clip on this is very, very thin, and as a result, it can very easily catch on pockets, etc. Not necessarily thin in this dimension, but like it requires your pants to be very, very thin. The height of this clip is very, very low, and so as a result, it is, well, it's not ideal, right? And so I mentioned both of those things in my review, and actually, the maker commented on them and basically said, oh yeah, that's a good point. This part was supposed to come out, but didn't. But anyways, what ended up happening is he ended up sending me a couple of parts, right? A different backspacer, which I'm not 100% sure why there's a different backspacer here, but a new pocket clip that is much higher, which sounds great, and a pivot, which shouldn't have that issue at all, because only one side of it is tooled. The other side is untooled. And so I figured, you know what, if I got these parts, let's go ahead and put them on the knife here, and why not bring you all along for the journey, so to speak, because, well, why not, right? Bonus video. I don't know whether a new video from me is a bonus or not, but it is certainly a thing. So let's go ahead and pull over my toolkit here. And by the way, if you're ever curious about the tools I'm using or this handy-dandy plastic 3D printed holder, you can go on ahead and check out my website there, nickshabazz.com/tools, and you can print one of those yourself. It is completely free. Anyways, is it still a plug if you're not wanting money? Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to go on ahead and take this guy apart. I'll take this out. This is a T8 screw here, and then I'll go ahead and pull the pivot, which is also T8. Oh, but I'm going from the wrong side, but maybe that's the right side. We're about to find out. Okay, in this case, actually, good. It's acting... No, it's doing the same thing. Where the non-free spinning side over here is the side that's wanting to unscrew, and the pivot collar, which is, I gather this was held together by Loctite and whatnot, the pivot collar is the part that came out. So that's exactly the issue we faced the first time, right? And it's not the end of the world, certainly, but it is profoundly weird. So we're going to go on ahead and take this guy the rest of the way apart here, and snap that off. What is going on here? It is not wanting to come apart, but that just could be because there's a locating pin in place. Get the blade out of play here, and then see if I can't lift the scale off. Nope, okay, it wasn't a locating pin at all. It was the, this little guy, the standoff there. Okay, so now what we're going to go on ahead and do is take out the pivot here, because that's getting replaced. So we're going to put those parts off camera there. We are also going to take this backspacer here, which appears to be different. How is it different is a separate question entirely. The old one is much more roughly finished. It looks great, but it does have milling lines in it, whereas the new one does not. That's not actually a problem per se, but it lets me identify which one is which. It also appears that the screw... Oh, there's not a standoff anymore. The screw now goes straight into the spacer, right? This backspacer here is threaded, whereas here, the screw here goes into a separate titanium standoff. Okay, so that's a little quality of life upgrade. And now, yeah, we can go on ahead and take things apart. This little pin here, is that built into the backspacer? What's the deal here? What is the deal here? Okay, if we align these two... No, it kind of looks like this pin is the same size, so we're probably going to want to reuse that pin. Yeah, that's the same size pin. Okay, so we'll want to get that pin out of there somehow. Okay, yeah, it's just popping through. Beautiful. like I said, though, on the whole, and then we'll actually want to take the clip out of the way. And the clip here, we can tell is different because the new one is silver. The old one was a bluish shade. And actually, I don't mind that necessarily because, well, the blue is certainly attractive. As you carry something, the anodization tends to wear off just from contacting things. So, yeah, there we go. Pop that loose. There is a separate little pin right above there. All right, so we've got that there. Now my last step here is going to be to pop this out here. It is a beautiful thing, 100%, that the maker is not only standing behind their stuff, and by the way, I'm not sitting here saying, and I guess I should probably throw out there, the new parts as well as the original life were provided by Rob Johnson's, right? So we shouldn't assume they're doing it out of the good of his art necessarily. But I also didn't, tell him or promise him even that I was going to make a movie or a video about this. Right? I think he just wanted to show me that he can do it right, But anyways, I feel like, there we go. That's getting closer to popped out. But it is a joy to me, though, that he was willing. I'm going to use this little hole in the mat here to try and push this the rest of the way out. Beautiful. That worked well. It's a mandrel. Not like the monkey. Is that a mandrel? Yeah, I think there's a... Anyways, I digress. It may be an ape. I apologize, primatologists. Please don't at me. Anyways, it's nice to see that makers are willing to do what they, can to improve their designs, right? And that's, honestly, that's a thing that brings me maybe disproportionate amounts of joy in my work on the channel. Right, I personally gain very little at this. There might have been a time in my life where it was enjoyable to tear something apart, But at this stage in my life, I gain very little from saying negative things directly, right? And that's why you see many, many fewer negative reviews on my channel. And not that this was a negative review. But it actually brings me a lot more joy when what I can do is tell the maker about something that is a problem with their product, and then they make it not a problem with their product in the future. That feels like everything gets better because the product gets better, which makes them better able to justify the prices that they're charging. Makes it easier for them, ideally, to sell the product. I'm going to go on ahead and take the old backspacer, which is, again, not threaded there. Take that off and take it out of the field of work here. But it brings me a lot of joy when that happens, right? When makers take the advice and or criticism I give them to heart and turn it into better product, right? And it's lovely when makers offer upgrades to people, when you can buy new parts that fix existing issues. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I actually don't need this standoff here anymore. So I'm going to put that aside here. I believe the backspacer will cover that task directly. So that's a clip screw, and that's the standoff screw. So that brings me substantial joy to see, right? And then, so to me, this is exactly, and it's also, frankly, something I respect a lot when makers are willing to iterate, when they're willing to say, yeah, my product is good, and this product is good, but I can make it better. That is itself a source of great joy for me, because no product is perfect, right? There are always ways you can improve it, and especially for these sorts of, for lack of a better term, boutique style products. I'm going ahead and putting the new pivot through here. Is that seated properly? Doesn't feel quite like it is, but I can keep rotating. There it is. Now it's in. That's a handsome pivot too. But it brings me a lot of joy, regardless, when makers make those improvements, right? And especially when they make those improvements with no expectation of it happening, right? When, and especially when they offer them back to the people who supported them in making the first versions of things, right? So, I don't know. To me, that's great. And it is a sign for me of a maker I respect a lot. This is a thing that Spyderco, actually, their kind of constant quality improvement. That brings me joy, right? Because it just means that the products get better and better and better. If you have the opportunity when you're doing a small boutique product like this to go ahead and make an improvement on the next one you make, I really feel like you should. And I totally understand. There were people out there who kind of feel like, oh, well, come on, you sold me mine without that. Why don't I get that opportunity? Well, because the maker's learning, right? Every single day should be, whatever you're doing, you will probably be better at what you're doing every single day, if you're doing it right, at least. Okay, this, where do you go? Oh, this goes into the backspacer, as I recall. Yeah, okay. We'll figure out what side it goes into, but I believe that to be, unless that's a separate little thing. What's this nubbin? That may just be a... I think these two are fixturing rather than anything else. Because, yeah, okay, that sticks up a little bit. Yeah, all right. But that brings me joy, right? And I like to feature it. And I love companies who are willing to do that. And, you know, it just makes things better. I'll go ahead and I'll put this stop pin in right here. And so, come on there. I think I'm out of practice. Ay, ay, ay. It brings me a lot of joy, though. Okay, so now I've got that in place. I'm going to go on ahead and slightly over-lubricate this. And I'll drop my bearings in place. Little micro itty-bitty bearings. But it does make the knife very smooth indeed. And now we can put the rest of the thing together. So the clip lives over here. I think I actually screwed up in that I probably should have installed the clip before I put the blade in place. But you know what? We're going to go on ahead and, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that now. So I will put the clip in place here. And hopefully everything will just sort of snap in. Yep, it seems to be doing so. And then I will use the screw here to pop that in place. And slide that in. By the way, if any of you are curious about this ring on my finger here, this is an Oura ring. O-U-R-A. It is a health and fitness tracker. It looks at my stress level. So basically every time I open the app, it says, oh my God, who hurt you? It's not quite as explicit as that, but nevertheless, that's something I've been trying out and very curious about, and so far kind of liking, because it lets me still wear a real watch, in this case Christopher Ward, but also allows me to, well, track some relevant health statistics, which I also like and appreciate. All right, so now I am going to need to figure out the backspacer situation. Am I? What's the situation here? This is going to go, the head of the screw goes in here. That'll put this post up into here. So then technically it may be best to put the backspacer over here. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to screw the backspacer together on this side first. That way it's in the right position as I put everything back together. So I'll go ahead and put this screw in, using a little bit of blue Loctite on a stick here. Okay, yeah, so that goes in there and it screws directly into the backspacer. That's nice. Is that crucial? No, but it is nice. And now I should be able to, bearings are both in, I should be able to drop this onto here. Beautiful. And then at that stage, I should be able to put this screw in there. And I won't tighten it too much because I still got some work to do on the pivot and whatnot. But I'll go ahead and put that in there. That'll hold things in position. Then what I shall do, oh boy, fancy, is I will install the pivot over here. There's an argument to be made to maybe put it so that the non-screwed side of the pivot is in the front, but honestly, this side's attractive too. And so I'll go ahead and I'll put that there. The concern always with a brand new pivot is that if the tolerances is slightly off, the knife might have centering issues, it might have blade play, etc. So I'm hoping very much that Rob Johnson's has done this right, which recall is not actually the name. and that there will be no such issues. But, okay. There is currently no blade play. Oh, that's smooth. Lovely. All right, no blade play at all. Actually, I can tighten it a little bit more, but that might actually be because I haven't fully tightened the back screws here. Tighten those up. Beautiful. Yeah, no play. Is there a slight tiny bit here? Could there be slightest, tiniest bits of play? Is this seated? Is this seated? I think... yeah. I believe it is just working its way on through. Centering still looks pretty much good to go. I'm wondering, maybe something might be underneath the pivot screw here, because I didn't clean that part out. Yeah, there's a little bit of gunk up in there. So I'm going to go on ahead. The reason I noticed that is because it feels like there's a little bit of asymmetry in how it kind of rotates there. So I'm wondering whether there's maybe a little bit of gunk that I can remove, and that should make things easier. Little tiny things like that can occasionally have an impact on the action of a knife, and after a little while doing this, you start to notice them. Just don't come on, people. I'm using some isopropyl alcohol on here. Yeah, there we go. And that loose. Beautiful. And I drop this in place. Did I put a little thread locker on the pivot? I don't know that I did. Well, that's a separate problem now, wasn't it? All right. And, of course, that comes flying right out. Okay. Come on now. Are you in place? Yeah, okay, that's in place now. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, we're good to go. So, anyways, all of that is to say that I really do appreciate when makers are actually willing to iterate and are willing to improve and are willing to add things that make their products a little tiny bit better, right? And whether that is something that they send out to their people, they offer for purchase, any of those things, that's great, and it is something that I really do appreciate a lot. So I figured I would show it off and let you know that, well, at least one of the two of the issues that I'd mentioned previously in the video are simply no longer issues. So there you go. I hope this has been interesting to you and that you have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.